Welcome to another episode of No Wrong Convos. And today we have amazing guests with us. We have Nneka and Flo. And Nneka, introduce yourself. Flo, introduce yourself.
I'm Nneka.
Okay, say hi, Florence. Say hi.
Hi, I'm Flo.
Yeah,
Hi,
so,
I'm Femi.
I beg, forget that guy. So today we are.
How come you didn't introduce me? I don't get.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, like how come you did? Your name is OG.
Forget this guy.
My name
now.
is Femi.
Fade out now. Okay. Femi, you guys know Femi.
Femi's in the house. Femi's in the house. Who takes it off, please?
Yeah. So today we're talking about the seeds of pleasure. You understand? Seeds of pleasure. The name speaks for itself. We're talking about the pleasures of life. About narrow down to a particular topic anyway.
Sex.
But you understand? We want to
Banging.
talk about the seeds of pleasure. Do you understand? The seeds of we won't say sex, but
The
or rather
repercussions of having
it's sex,
sex.
but we focus on a couple, right? On a couple. Yeah.
Okay.
So and our seed in the context of today's discussion is, babies, pregnancies.
A child.
A child. You understand? When a couple, sexually active couple,
Not
happen
married.
to-
Emphasis.
not
Not
married,
married and married.
not married,
Okay, because
not
I
married.
I can be married, right? But the man is not ready, but the woman is ready, or the woman is not
No,
ready.
not
You
married.
know there are some
Not
couples
married.
that get married.
Femi,
me
not
finish.
I actually
married.
think
there are
that's
some
valid.
couples that get married, right? And
Oh my
they
gosh.
decide, or they
They're
not
decided
ready.
they don't want to have kids immediately.
not.
They want to wait for 2 years or so. Then the woman all of a sudden has stress from.
Oh,
the
that's true.
family.
Femi,
I
yeah.
actually
Femi,
saw
your point is actually
something
valid.
Have you
trended
seen
on
Game On? Have you
Twitter.
seen Game On?
No.
Dude,
But
I'm smart.
It's a series.
don't. It's
I'm
true. It's
smart.
okay, man. It's okay. We're losing focus. We're losing focus.
So-
There's actually something that trended recently. I think it was on Instablog or so, where a guy, in fact, that is the beginning of our conversation. Okay, so the guy's story is he got married to a girl, to his wife, and they had a plan to wait for about 2 years or so.
Okay.
You understand? Before they
Before
try and
she
get
before try getting
work towards a
pregnant.
child, and the girl obviously got pressures from her mom, her
Mom's side,
family,
the family,
and all that,
husband's side as well.
and the guy's mom was even in on it, and his mother-in-law, his mom, and the girl, and a couple of other people lingering in the family. Yeah,
Pastor, I think pastor something. There was
no, it's just some guy. They convinced the girl to get pregnant.
okay. So apparently she was supposed to be using. Okay, the girl convinced the guy to stop using condoms.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
That she will use contraceptives.
Yeah, she will use
And she decided
contraceptives.
not to use.
It
Because
was
she had
part of
planned-
the plan.
Because she had planned with
To deceive
her
him.
mom and the guy's mom.
Yeah. So the idea, they sold it to the guy now, and the guy bought it now. Don't worry, I use contraceptives. Okay, you can just go wrong, blah, blah, blah. And she got pregnant. Twins.
Wow.
And I heard
Do you understand? And the guy was livid. And he said now they are now suffering. Do you understand? Because they can't afford it yet. And all she does is just cry every day, cry. Things are rough. And he's looking at her like, but I told you, and you listened to it. He said he was so angry at his mom, his mother-in-law, and he's just there, and he said he doesn't even trust her anymore. And in fact, he doesn't even
want the
marriage
Yeah.
anymore. Do you understand? So what do you say about that? Where's the line? Where's the line when a partner says, I am not ready, to be a parent yet? Let's just chill.
Are you asking me now? Or you're asking
I'm asking
Flo?
you guys.
Okay,
Okay,
yes.
wait, but no worry. Well, yeah. I like that. Thank you for calling me back. We'll start with Nneka. Yeah. So the question is, where is it right for, we'll not even we'll focus on you. You're a female. So is it right for you, the female, to keep the child when her
man
partner has told her, look, I'm not ready. I'm
When
not
your
ready to
partner
be
is
a
not
father.
ready.
I'm not ready. Is
Okay.
it right?
Coming down to the level of understanding,
Yeah.
first you have to respect people's opinion
Yeah, fair enough.
and understand people's opinion too.
Mhm.
So as a girl, I don't think is right because you both had an agreement
Mm-hmm.
the guy had already said, "Oh, I'm not ready."
Yeah.
So me going behind his back and trying to like play around, I don't think.
You don't think so?
And,
I don't
and
think yeah.
putting in mind that the guy, it didn't have. There was no need for any pull-out game, right? Because it was so certain, 100% certain that my wife would
They had a
never,
plan.
Never,
get pregnant.
yeah.
At this point, right?
So unexpected.
So there was no point
Doesn't
for
make sense.
because that thing can sweet and you can just forget yourself, right?
They happen.
So when you,
They happen.
it's like you have been doing it too much. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You're looking at me. You don't have to answer. You can't answer the response. Anyway, so
expose them.
yeah, so the guy is 100% sure that his wife won't get pregnant. Now, by the time she gets pregnant, first of all, it will be difficult for her to tell him during the first or second trimester before it starts showing.
Yeah.
Right? But immediately it starts showing, then it'll be like,
She doesn't have a
honey, I
choice.
want to tell you something.
It happened.
Well, I'm pregnant.
They're
And
not
the guy
serious.
says, how long ago? And the guy and she says 6 months.
Are you all right?
Then he
Wow.
goes back in time.
No, really, are you all right?
Really, I think
Please,
I
let's
thought
hear
we
you.
had this. So.
I think what would happen is pressure is valid, and I'm sure that
from the family
from
members.
family members to women, it's actually a valid thing. So if you're making that kind of decision with your partner, I think that's something that you guys should have factored in. Do you understand? So if I'm telling you that, oh, we're married, but for the first 2 years, I don't want to try for children. Okay, and you agree with me, it means that we've talked about, okay, when mommy starts asking what's going to happen and what do we do, and what we have to stand in one voice, because the moment it begins to look like one person is now not wanting what we agreed on, the person is the one who starts to feel the pressure. That's what I think.
Yeah, but that's the person that is breaking the code now.
Also, yes,
You guys have agreed.
and
You guys
also,
have agreed. There will be
yes,
pressures now.
that's true. That's true. And in agreement, there's also communication. I think that if you feel any sort, if you're my husband and you feel any sort of pressure, all right, of course, when you make an agreement with someone, you don't know the future. You can't tell if tomorrow something will happen or somebody would slap her for that same reason. But that's why communication is important. If I make an agreement with my husband and then he feels a certain kind of pressure, even if it's a financial agreement, you're supposed to come back home and tell me. Now, in telling me, it's not me finding a solution to it. Once I know you are under pressure, it puts me in a position to be able to relate with you at that level. You'd be surprised that if she had gone to tell him that mommy is putting me under pressure, or this is how the pressure is making me feel, he might have even budged and said, okay, fine, let's try. Or we tell mommy that, okay, in so time we'll be ready. Or we're not ready at all. And, there's this thing about standing on a united front. When the mother hears that her son is not ready, she might not step back for a long time. African mothers are like that. But she give a bit of respect to the home. I think where it starts, where the problem starts, is not the breaking the agreement, it's the miscommunication. As small as it is, not telling how what we've agreed on is affecting me. Now that is where the problem starts.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's that's the
very
realistic side of it, really.
Yeah.
You know, the pressures will come. Well, fair enough, but I still feel, as much as that is valid, I still feel you guys have agreed now. It's just both of you. Pressure or not, it will always come. Before you even got married, I'm sure your mom has been singing, baby, you understand?
Yeah.
You get. So, I just feel in that situation, the story, we started with, the girl messed up. Sorry to say, I know it's their business.
Agree.
It's their business and all that, but I will also feel betrayed. I will feel betrayed. Do you understand? We agreed on something. I'm planning towards it. Do you understand? You guys probably planned and calculated, had a strategy. Do you understand? To achieve. And you just come and just throw it. Just spoil everything. Do you understand? And you're coming to tell me that they put you under pressure. My folks put me under pressure. Do you understand? What are you saying now? What if people have been telling me, guy, if you born picking?
If everybody should budge under pressure like that, we'll all make mistakes. That's the thing.
Well, fair enough. Okay, so what about this situation here? There's one girl here. I can't remember what led to the conversation, but we're talking about this whole I'm not ready, the guy's not ready. Then she goes, well, I want the child now. I want the child. You get? And if it's not ready, then fine now. And I'm like, so what happens when you give birth to the child now? You say the child doesn't have a father, Abby. Then all of a sudden the guy becomes a bum. He's a useless dad. Useless dad. Doesn't support his children. Do you understand? And I had to stress that out to her. And she was like, oh, really? I didn't see it that way. So I'm like, are you serious? You know, so a lot of guys have actually fallen into that situation. Do you understand? I mean, unfortunately, the bulk of the story will always be the guy because it's the girl that's carrying the pregnancy. So most of the time, she's the one that has the final say. Do you understand? She's the one that has the final say now.
Absolutely.
So if she's listening
correct,
to
right?
you, yes, now. How are you going to stop the baby from growing in her tummy?
Neka, do you agree?
Yes.
She has the final say.
Yes.
Okay, so what if the guy just takes the babe and just keeps the babe somewhere till like a kidnapping scenario?
That one that kidnapping,
That's a crime.
Chris
So
Evans.
that's
Chris Evans like Captain America.
So we've talked about married couples.
Evans.
We have somehow talked about couples, not married couples,
But sexually
Now,
active couple.
but sexually active, right? Now, let's talk about people that are just getting to know themselves, right? And they decided, oh, okay, I think I like you.
Undefined.
Let's bash,
That's a different level.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I like you, let's have sex, right? Then maybe the first time she misses a period, she gets pregnant,
Pregnant.
right? Now,
One careless night.
one careless night.
And all those nights,
about
I
to
just
go
got
down.
all those
Really
30
before.
seconds.
It's
Like,
the blow.
Weather for two.
And I know some of those kind blow now like 1 minute. I don't even enjoy myself.
straight
The guy
up.
go don't go out next day. 1 week later, babe, I missed something. What do you miss? Fine now. Fine now.
Fine
Fine.
now.
But
Say
again, let's not
okay,
go far.
so
Yeah, the humor is enough. Let's not go far. So, what happens when this guy? Because the guy will be terrified, definitely.
Yes.
The girl will be terrified. These are two people that barely know each other, and they are making a very difficult decision about keeping or not keeping a child. Now, I don't so much believe in. I do not like abortion or whatever it is. I don't like it. I don't think it should even exist. But a lot of people do it. Big thumbs up to them.
The reality of it.
Yeah, that's the reality. But yeah, it's difficult to train a child, especially when you're not ready. You have to be ready mentally, emotionally,
Financially.
and financially, because you can only give what you have.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't have these things, you can't give it to your child. Now, that's why you see women that's giving birth to children, and there's so much bitterness. You know, and they
Anger.
just
Like
transfer
the
that
child,
bitterness
like
to the
to
child.
do something
Child.
from them.
Yeah.
And it's not supposed to be like that.
It's supposed to be an amazing thing. Now, this boils down, like you said, communication. This boils down to the decision of the man and the woman. You have to be able to make that decision. That's why condom they sell. You understand? You need to. You should not have. You should not have unprotected sex.
Sex, exactly.
With
you're
that.
ready.
all
We're not even
right.
talking about STDs or whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's not even the point. I'm talking about the fear. Let's call it spade a spade. The fear of having a child.
yeah,
You have to be afraid, my guy. It is not easy to take care of a child.
it's not to.
It is not easy. I get
school fees be now.
1, 2, 3.
Block.
I get 3.
No,
I know what I'm saying.
Children are
You
expensive.
know, and you hear that, and I know some couples that because the wife gets pregnant, or because the girlfriend got pregnant, they decided
Married.
to get married.
And that's that. I
No,
don't.
that's
I
very
don't
bad.
agree with that. I stand
I don't agree with you
against it. I totally disagree because it's like you sometimes you see someone, they're going out with this guy. Maybe the lady's your friend, all right?
Yeah.
They're going out with this guy. You think they're amazing. It's been a couple of weeks, and 3-4 months down the line, she's pregnant, and a month after the pregnancy, they're trying to marry them. Now, notice I said marry them, not them trying to get married. It means that they didn't have it in the plans, wasn't in the works, nothing of that nature. And I have a personal experience with this, actually.
You have a personal experience?
Yeah, growing up,
This
I
happened to
used to
you,
have
or-
somebody I was really close
Oh,
with. Growing up, I used to have this girl.
okay.
This girl that was really close to me.
Okay.
And we look alike a lot. So people should mistake for sisters. I don't have a sister. So I'm always looking for the next, girl to be besties with. Then, not now. So we grew up together in the same church, and then she got pregnant. And at this time, it was around the Jambite season. 16, fresh out of secondary school, awaiting result level. She got pregnant, and they were trying to marry the both of them. It was young love. The guy had just gotten admission. She was just going to get into school. The guy was the only child. Now,
The guy was the only child. That usually happens.
In very rare cases, you see that these marriages would, they'll progress. Do you understand? Both of them are young. They can just make it work. Do you understand? But in some cases, I think it should still, see, when a lady is pregnant and she's done something, she's not a baby. Do you understand? I feel like she chose to do the action. She should still be the one to choose to be a married woman. If I was in the position of a mother and that happened to my child, I would take my child home. Literally, she's still a child.
Yes.
No circumstance should any mother ever. You know why I'm saying it like this? Because I have first-hand experience. On no circumstance should any mother allow her child just go because of the shame of society.
The stigma.
Because she wants her to be married. Bring her back home. If she is a child, she's still a child and your child.
Yes.
If she's grown enough, if you feel like she's mature enough to make that decision, she can go ahead and marry the boy. He's not running away. But you see this notion of always wanting to quickly marry them off so that they can now be married women that don't know anything, no skin off their backs, no experiences. You just push them out because you want to refer to her as my daughter who is married, not my daughter who has a child for a man that she's not married to. It is so painful. I can't have that kind of thing under my house. And it's so
many
wrong.
children
It's
being
so
parents.
I just remembered something. There was this what's that that first original prank. You remember the first
Prank?
The first original prank was Funke.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Jesus, yeah, he said he was pregnant.
yeah.
I remember that prank. He
He
called
said,
his
you will
dad.
go to Nigeria.
Funke.
You will go to Nigeria. You work in McDonald's. You will work in McDonald's. Order this house, first class, straight to Nigeria. Don't worry. He said that is just a prank, just a prank. Oh, but the Baba bring us something. One not come for it. Guy, you understand? That is what.
Yeah. Jamila Raje, Camila. Yeah. And that was like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
That
was like one of the that's the
like years
one of the
ago.
oldest pranks.
voices,
People
voices.
still use Funke.
Till now.
Funke.
Funke, I think he was calling his wife because his wife is
Yeah.
Funke.
Yeah.
Yes, he was calling his wife to come and hear.
I'm also will hear of this. Yeah, pregnant. Oh, not my house. He said, you can't stay in this house. You can't stay in this house. You will work in McDonald's.
No Jesus. You are bringing babies.
You know, so this is exactly what we're talking about, right? When even the father, can you imagine the father of the son, is already chancing, not even to talk about the father or the mother of the girl.
Exactly.
So there's pressure from both sides. Young boy, young girl, right? I was in secondary school when I was in secondary school. There was it was, I think maybe I was in JSS 1 or so. A senior who was in JSS 3 was dating a girl who was in JSS 3 as well. She got pregnant. So they had to. So both parents came to school, as in rich kids. Both parents came to school. They were like, okay, so what are we going to do now? Of course, they're already pregnant. It's nothing we can do. So they're going to go off school, both of them, for a year. He would step back to take care of his pregnant wife, and they agreed. But today they're married.
Wow.
Right? So it was really young love, and they found each other immediately. Those are 1 in a million cases, right? that
The
that
parents tried,
happens.
They probably play.
Yeah, that
they
actually
played
goes
a
on.
huge
And
role.
for them to
Because
actually put it
they could have
together.
easily traumatized the children.
Both of
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. So it's a good thing that happened. But that happened because the parents are
Something
exposed, one, and the parents have a little bit of money. Right? They could handle that.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Easily.
sometimes, sorry, I'm interrupting
ahead,
you. Sometimes you, this pressure is not like they hate you. The parents, they genuinely love their children. It's just that, like you said, money. Sometimes they're already struggling to take care of you. Do you understand? You've heard a mother say, "Oh, I gave up my life just for you." Some women. I know what I'm saying, but you've heard African African mothers
That's
say
selfish, right?
Is that selfish?
That's really selfish.
Yeah, it's selfish.
Is that selfish?
depends on the
That's the reason why they are mad.
The-
That you did not go according to their
Their plans, exactly. They want you to work with their plans.
that's why
They're the ones that are ashamed.
that's why the narrative
Okay,
now
so-
is that you should live your life.
Yeah.
And when you have a child, you allow them live theirs.
No,
With a little bit
Especially-
of caution, though. With a little bit of
Yes,
caution.
of course.
This is
When
the
and
Know
when you
your
feel like
child.
they're
Hey,
mature
Daddy,
enough,
Shut up, yeah.
You will collect.
You know now.
it's okay to teach. Okay, so I believe from 18, 19, the child can make decisions, right? But you can introduce the child as the years before turning 18. You can introduce the child and say, okay, do you know what are you going to wear today? I think you should wear this. The guy says, no, I want to wear the white one. Oh, nice one. That is prepping the child to make decisions. You can't just say the child is 16 and be like, okay, mom, do you know what? I want to move out of my
but
house.
it's actually
I wanna
it's
do
a
that.
two-way thing. I had an
do you mean?
experience, all right. I volunteer in the children's department in my church, and I heard something shocking in June.
Sister Flo.
I was in the
Sister
department,
Flo.
taking care of these children, and it was the 7 to 12 class. Now I was in class, and then I said, "Stand up." He was sitting on the floor. All right. Now I know that this kid is not a special child. He can sit down if he wants to. All right. And I'm like, stand up and sit on the chair because you're sitting on the floor, and that's where a seat is supposed to be. And a teacher walks up to me and she says, "Oh no, we don't tell them what to do. We allow them do what they want to do." Now, because I'm a volunteer in that department, I did that for that service. And I remember going down to service, and then I told my friend who is a mother. And then I said, is this what they tell your children in 7 to 12? Like, are you aware? And then she's like, neighbor, I'm not nobody will tell you what to do. Do you understand? I feel like in as much as we want to say children can be free from a certain age, or children should know these things from a certain age, it should still be with a little bit of salt.
You as a parent, yes.
Do you understand? And it's
Yeah,
not,
you
it's
just
not
need to
caution.
guide them.
It's not
Then when they're
every,
making
it's not
decisions,
every
tell them,
child.
both sides of
It's
the
not every
fence.
child that you can give that leverage to. My mother allowed me to travel interstate from when I was 15 alone. Like alone. I can go where I want. She had this trust. I've lived outside the country for years. My mother and I, our trust level is solid. She has this. She will say I'm the kind of child that gives her peace of mind. Do you understand? She's like, go. But if I'm
Sister
coming back
Flo.
late, hi, I'm not going to come back early. Blah, blah. But if my younger brother should try that, she's loose. She doesn't have rest of mind, because I feel like when the child gives you, you exchange that in trust to them. If the child is not giving you something, if they're not giving you a future that is planned or something that you can trust, you can't give it to them back. A child that doesn't come back early, doesn't behave right, you now say you can do whatever you want to do
You
in this house. No, when
big
you go
home.
to your
Wow.
Just
Make that guy carry one
the
big
time
home
out.
now. Let's come back again, guys. Let's come back again. We've spoken about different areas and the aftermath. Yeah, but let's still come back to that. The seeds of
Baby.
pleasure. Do you understand? We've not addressed the part where the partner, going behind, or rather breaking code, and going ahead with his or her own decision. Do you understand? Okay, we know that the final state is still with the babe, right? Because she's the one carrying the child.
Yeah.
So is either she agrees or she doesn't. If she doesn't, she's going to do whatever, do you understand, she wants. So in that situation now, what does the guy really do? What do you expect the guy to do?
Okay, so
What do you expect the guy to do?
I'll say this before.
Sorry,
What?
hold your thoughts. Neka. I want Neka to answer.
Oh, Neka hasn't
Neka.
spoken really.
Yes.
Yeah,
Chaz been.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you expect the guy to do? You know, it will always fall on the guy most of the time because it's the babe.
especially when he walks out.
You understand? So, if the babe agrees, it's fine. But if she doesn't, that's when there's a problem. Whether the guy has a problem with it or not, you know, he doesn't really have the final say. So, what do you expect the guy to do in this situation, really?
At this time, I don't think the guy actually have a choice than to like just accept.
The guy.
So you are
Neka bad.
It's
you
not
are the
just.
only
I
person
would
that
have been
decided-
Neka if I didn't experience what I've experienced in the last 7 months.
She just accept.
And please, I'm going to say that story.
move on.
I would have been Neka. I'd be like, if you ask me this same question, I'll be Neka. He'll just accept.
Please
But
tell me this your
I've
story. I beg.
witnessed something.
Yeah.
Femi, I met this guy in February. And this guy has a, you know, I'm saying this story. He's going to watch this video.
Yes.
This guy's a very good friend. Now, introduce me to his friend.
Expose.
Just the same way you introduce me to your friend, right?
Yeah.
Introduce me to his friend.
I know something.
Can you allow this? please?
Allow us. Introduce me to his friend. And then at the time when I met his friend, we use Amafuruko Bolashi. We will not say the name of the person.
Yes.
Anonymous. Thank
Yes,
you.
anonymous. Yeah.
Now, his friend was going out with this girl. He just left a relationship and then was seeing this girl. And then he was specific with her. And then he said, I don't want a relationship. I'm just coming out of one. But I'll take care of you. It'll be nice. We all know what this means. Do you understand? It's not basically trying to reduce her value. But these things happen. Moral or no moral, they happen.
They happen.
Now,
They happen.
These two adults were having consensual sex.
Consensual.
And they were using protection. Now, there was this one time, according to the both of them, because I had to hear the story, when they didn't. And it was, like he said, a very cold morning.
The guy said.
And there was a seed, a baby.
A seed of pleasure.
She didn't say anything about this baby
SOP.
until, you know, I'm all women supporting women.
SOP.
Sorry.
It's
SOP.
I'm
Go
all-
on. Sorry. Don't mind us. Jai.
I'm
Go on.
I'm all for women supporting women. Do you understand? Like, do what you want to do what makes you happy. See, irrespective of the guy is gonna walk away or not, because people are still going to do what they're going to do. But this single thing, all right, took a different turn.
Okay.
Now she got pregnant and she didn't tell him. Kept.
Oh.
Now they're not married. They've been together for say 3 months actively. She kept the baby, didn't tell him. It's 4 months. And then she told him, I'm pregnant. And the news first came as a shock to all of us because we're like, and then he was now like, okay, they rarely have sex without protection. So how? And then she was like, oh, that one day. Or that, do
4
you
months
understand?
ago.
That
Now-
cold morning.
You see this, you see, as small as this issue is, that say she just got pregnant. That's why I say it's the world is a very diverse place. You can't place your hand on anything. As you put your hand on this, we move.
Of course.
This will be moving around. Do you get? So she got pregnant, and then the guy was like, okay, where they went the whole back and forth. How did they happen? You know, we didn't want this to happen. This guy is struggling. I've never ever gotten to see a male's perspective on pregnancy until that point in my. See, I felt for this guy.
Yes, now.
This guy was moving around Lagos like a mad human being.
I'm telling you.
I felt like me actually told the babe, I said, you're very, very callous. I'm not. It's a different level of wickedness you are on, my
Wickedness.
sister.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now, I'm not trying to be moral. I'm just saying their story. Now, they had a little back and forth about, you know, they don't want the baby. He doesn't want the baby. He thinks that they should not have the baby. And then she was like, no, she wants to have the baby.
Exactly.
Now, at that time, we didn't know why. She's had the baby now. It's been like 6 months. We didn't
the
know.
story is still fresh.
Yeah. We didn't know why she wanted the baby. But we're like, why? You know this guy is struggling. He's on the verge of moving to his own place. He's just a guy that's trying to set up life. You know those kind of men that things don't really happen for them as age progresses. They hit something and they start moving. He was at that point in his life when he was moving. And she knew, why are you doing this? And it's not the facts. I'm not against her saying she wants to keep the baby. It's the way she was causing a drama around it that didn't just make any sense to me. Now, both of them are AS.
Hey.
You see why I said the story can actually be deeper than deep. We can only say, what do you do? What would you do? But until it happens to you, you don't really understand. Now, there was a genotype issue. And then I'm like, okay, for genotype, we can actually check the genotype of the baby while it's still in the womb. I contacted somebody I knew. We sorted that out. Okay. The baby is possible. Yeah, do you understand? That's the rest of my thing. And then there was a trust issue. How did you get pregnant? You didn't take the pill. You didn't do this. He now started suspecting she was sleeping with somebody else. Imagine if they were married, how much damage this single thing would do. It wasn't until, the guy's mom, talking about pressure. I'm going to touch everything with this topic.
Go on.
The guy's mom now said, oh, she wants a grandchild. Are you understanding me?
Yeah.
Now, he pays his mom's rent, gives her allowance.
The guy pays his own mom's
He's
rent.
the only one in that family who is financially standing. Now, she's like, I want a child. She went to the girl's house and brought the girl to live with her. See, you see why I say it's easy until you hear perspective. She brought the girl to live with her. The girl quitted her job in Lekki 1. She was making 50K a week. She left her job. She said she was okay now. The guy is going to take care of her. She's pregnant.
Hey.
She was always falling sick. So she was living with the guy's mom now. The guy's mom was taking her to antenatal, taking care of her, yawo mommy, that kind of thing. She's finally gotten a grandchild. And he kept telling the mother, I'm not sure the child is even mine. Let her not stay with you. Let her go to her parents' place until we figure this out. The mom was busy creating emotional and this thing back. She was creating force. She was building a whole force around this thing. And then this girl finally always, from the 7th month, she was always in the hospital. Her blood work was low. Is it PCI or everything? PCB was low. She was always very ill. And the guy would spend money. God, I pity this guy. Me and my other friends, we had agreed that once she puts to bed, we'd all put money together. Because the illness through the pregnancy, nothing he planned this year came through. No moving to the house, no job.
Talk about pumping the brakes.
Nothing he planned this year came through. All his plans, I'm going to do this, I'm going to start this business. He's in entertainment, so he wanted to really use this year to define what he was going to do. It didn't come through. Do you get?
Of course.
And every time that she would call, it became toxic. Really toxic. Every time that she would call and he wouldn't answer, he would start calling his friends. I'm like, have you heard from your friend? You do you know, as a young man, do you know how depressing that can be? Now, before all of this happened, before I experienced it, because I really experienced it. Before I experienced it, if you ask me, I'll say, no, the woman, she deserves the final. Yeah. I still think so. But I think that we should consider the men too deeply.
Absolutely.
Every time I see him on set, I'm always like, he's always changing. It's like he's always shrinking in size. He's somebody that is tall, but you could tell that a lot was wrong with him. At a point, he wasn't talking and we were really worried about him. Of course. And talk to me. For a man, a grown guy, to sit me down in public and really bare his heart, it has gotten to a level. I'm not really his direct friend. I'm just somebody that had ears that wanted to listen. And he starts me there and talk to me for over an hour.
How is it now, though?
She has had the baby. Immediately she had the baby. You're Yoruba, right?
Absolutely.
You know how some of these superstitions work. Just to be sure, that's why I asked. You know how some of these superstitions. The day she had the child, we were all on set. We were filming a music video. And then he was producer for that set. And he was working 2 jobs at the time. Also just to make the demands. Because she was always sick.
Of course. So
he was shuffling this set to this set. You know how it means to... I don't know, anybody here is a producer. You have to be present on set. You know how it means to produce 2 at once in one day? You'll be going from here to here, here to here. He was coming, going, trying to sort things. And then we gave him money to pay for one of the things we were going to do. We gave him money to pay one of the guys that came as stuntmen. And the money wasn't going through, so we transferred the money to his account. He lost his ATM card that day. His car broke down that day. He lost a job that day. And just as he was coming on set, he just said she just put to bed. I'm like, I don't believe in superstitions. I am a very, 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 very modern day woman, but something has to be wrong. I'm not kidding. Something has to be wrong, because why the day she put to bed, he lost somebody, he went to this POS stands, withdrew 100K, and then The money didn't go. It didn't leave his account. By the time he got to set, the money had left his account. We went back to the place. We didn't see the lady. His car was not working that same day. Like, he had to borrow a car to go to the hospital to check on her. And guess what? Naturally now, as it would happen, she didn't have a natural birth.
Yes.
And by the time she had the baby, all of us had already given up that we were even try to contribute money. Because she was calling everybody up. Hello, have you heard from your friend? Oh, your friend doing to me is unfair. And I'm like, have you thought for 1 minute what you are doing to him? It was in the 8th month she now had the balls to say, oh, I'm sorry. The reason why I kept the baby was because I wanted to keep you. I'm like, where is my wig? Where is my wig? I need to wipe this shit
John,
out of you. What is wrong with you?
It's so annoying.
How do you go this extra mile to keep 1 man?
What do you mean?
With one penny?
Was it going
what
anywhere
is special
before?
about this man? I don't understand. Don't you have a... This is what happens when you don't have a life.
This is what happens when you're tall.
No, this is what happens
John is when you're tall inside.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
started.
that's just
This is what happens.
Why? Because sorry. Anyway, go on.
This
Okay,
is what
but
happens
shut
when you
up.
don't have a life. Now she's had the baby. She has had to leave his mom's house because his mom is also now confused and she wants to be on the side of her son.
Of course, too late, but I mean,
gone,
still.
That changed.
she's gone back to her parents' house.
Mhm.
The guy, after 1 month of paying bills and buying diapers, he realized that he was done. Now, there's the case of a DNA, which I don't have current update about. Do you understand? Because he strongly believes that the baby is not his. Now, the guy is not a diabolical person, but because of the madness of this thing, people had to start telling him that, the child is not yours. There's a prophet. You know, things like coming in.
He'll plant the seed in his head now.
Initial phase,
Seed.
it just looks like
You get me?
a
See,
lady is pregnant
plant
and the
seed.
guy doesn't want to take it. But the things that happen during the process is deeper. That now she has lost everything. No job.
No man.
She's
No
moved.
man.
No man. No future. No, I don't want to cancel her future, but she doesn't have anything she's doing in the present, and her family, they're struggling.
Basically, she's
Now,
fucked.
I'm not. You see that throughout all the story, I've not said what she should do or shouldn't do. I've just said it from the point of view where I want to look at the man. Can everybody just look at the man?
For once.
For once.
So thank you so
Oh,
much. Thank you so
God,
much,
this
Flo.
flow.
We really
This
appreciate
flow,
this.
yeah, just
This
oh my
direction, really.
goodness,
Thank you.
that's
You went
it.
a bit.
No, she
deep.
brought us back. I think she
She
brought
went a
us
bit
back. to
deep
this.
into like I'm actually feeling really sorry for the man. Yeah, you know. But again, I would say we've had an interesting episode, right?
Yeah.
And I want to say something that if you decide at any point that the lady decides at any point that she wants to keep the baby, right, and the man is not ready, now it's important for you as the man, guy. There are a lot of devices now. You can record. You can record that conversation because if you're in the US or in the UK and this happens,
Feminine,
no,
bad
really,
guy.
and no, it's not about being. See, because by the time you're not paying child support,
You're going to go to jail.
You are going to go to jail. You need to have
really
evidence.
put you in trouble.
Hey, my name is so and so. This is the girl
Femisexuality.
speaking now. This is the girl speaking now. My name is my name is
Femisexual.
Neka, and I'm pregnant. Not this Neka, by the way. But my name is
Obviously.
Neka, and I'm pregnant, and I want to keep the baby. Right on the recording, and the guy says, "My name is Uti. Neka is my
Not this Uti,
girlfriend."
by the way.
Baby daddy issues, son.
My name is Uti. I'm Neka's boyfriend for now.
Or partner.
I do not want this baby. It is solely Neka's decision to keep the baby.
Without
I
being
do not want to
coerced
be part of
into
it.
it.
Please, Neka, I don't want this baby. Please do not keep it. It should be recorded, right? Because so that you can go and keep it in your friend's safe. Not even in your safe.
They don't go
In
catch
your
you.
friend's safe.
I swear.
Just put it somewhere for cloud. Right? With password, with username and password. Maybe just did it. So that by the time the judge comes and says, "Oh, you need to do it. Judge, please, do you have a computer? Open it, put it in. Please listen
Press
to
play,
this."
press
Just
play.
press play.
Press
Right?
play.
And trust me, you are good. You know, so all these, like I said, all these decisions, right? We need to communicate better. We need to know what we're doing. And we need to wear condoms.
Or not
Please,
have
if
sex.
you
How
are
about
not-
not have sex?
Yeah.
Calm down,
I
bro.
don't.
Calm
I
down.
don't
Calm
know.
down.
See, I'm not
Because if you're not ready, what's
Calm.
the
Let's
point?
take it easy.
Like,
Yeah, let's take. Which one be?
Uti, I don't like the way you are saying this.
See, I
thing.
know. Ogieva wants to have sex like every day.
Yeah, sex. Your mouth go just sharp.
Ogieva,
You don't like having sex now. 3 kids now you get to.
Imagine how many. Imagine how many.
You they jump. Now jump. You they jump when the
it
children they
was
come out.
praying.
and
Praying.
it's just starting.
It's just
Okay.
starting.
Get out there, you.
They have like 3 months to go.
God bless you. I'm like, what? 3 months ago?
3 months ago. Do you want it to 3?
I do have sex.
God bless you. I can
Sexually,
I can
no go
adopt.
knock again.
I can adopt to give us kids.
Wow.
To give my kids. Oh, well, you go adopt my children. Now 12 are they go for 12.
12.
He didn't say all. He didn't say all your children.
You know, it will take all.
He didn't say all.
The internet never forgets.
Internet.
I would
Said
adopt.
kids.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to change that. I don't say they're going to live in my house. I can adopt
They
them.
can live in.
They can live in your house.
Your house, and
But,
then
and you
but
can
you-
take care of them, but they can as well be my kids as well.
I'm not signing you
I
on
know they
this
do
one.
my adoption like that. No.
He
You
wants
adopt
it
the child,
financially.
you take the child.
Responsibility.
Everything. about the
Financially.
child is yours.
You sound like you don't want your
Otherwise-
children.
No.
Exactly.
Like-
I want kids. It's just that he said you adopt my kids. And so go that.
Okay,
I'm
all
going
of
for
them.
12.
so that's fine.
I'm going to go for 12.
Yeah,
let's not
let's
debate.
go
So,
back, yeah.
Flo, you give us your, your what's the word? Your summary,
My
your
balance
thoughts.
with this
Final thoughts.
thing.
Yeah,
Final
to,
thoughts.
what we said.
One of my
You know, the
principles. One
story
of my
we started
principles
with.
in life is nothing is definite.
Mm.
Nothing, and you can't place a hold on life.
Mhm.
Life is, you lay your hand on something, even if you're not moving, life will move under you.
Yeah. True.
If some people say I'm doing life, actually life is the one doing everybody. We are just being us. We're not trying to make any effort to grow us. So life is just happening. So I'm not going to say this is what you should do or this is what you shouldn't do, but I have a few things I think I can
But they're
share.
constants.
Yeah, I have a few things I think I can share. First of all, I beg you in the name of God, Chineke, please and please, if you know that you're not financially capable, I'm not saying you don't want to have a child though. That's a different thing. Say you don't want to be a father, you just want to. If you're not financially stable enough, please, I beg you, find the best condom in the market and buy it.
Yeah, let me not mention anything.
Buy it. And pull-out method does not
Broke
work.
niggas.
Pull out metal.
It does not work.
Broke niggas don't what?
Respectfully.
Back to that episode, right? Some
You
niggas don't
understand?
fuck.
You will never chop. Nigga use my money, go buy best condom.
I'm no, really, I'm just
30
saying. I'm just
seconds, yeah,
saying.
okay.
Just for
Please.
you.
Under that tree.
Don't try to indulge in something that you've not properly thought through. You know, I used to tell one of my friends. I don't say it again because she's normal, but I used to tell her.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
my condolences.
I can't be with you if I don't really see a future with you. And that doesn't mean that the future has to be with you. But it just has to mean that, for example, if I'm with you and then something happens, this is a child. All right, I know that initially, even in the next 10 years, I know that initially, when this happened, this was the person at the moment that I wanted to be with. But some people, it's just momentary fun. You know, you'll be shocked at how some children came to life. One night stands, you know, it was just a mistake. You when you hear the stories, it will shock you.
I know,
Do you understand?
like 30 seconds. 30
Just
seconds.
when you hear the story, some women, I heard one woman say it was not even sweet. Then she can't get picking from the something.
See, like-
So which kind of reward be that? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You would
Calm
be
down.
Women are
you'd be shocked. So please don't. If you feel like you're not financially stable enough, try as much as possible, not for moral sake, to abstain.
Abstain. So
I'm telling you,
abstinence.
Use a condom.
Condom.
And also, if you are not already in the situation, because it's going to happen to some of us, not all, not me.
Yeah, we don't know
It
about
happens.
that. You say life, they always
It
Life
happens.
happens.
It happens
Yeah.
to
So
all
there's
of
no
us.
definite.
Please.
Yes.
I don't like that, but I'll take it. If it
It happens
happens,
to all of us. It happens to all of us. It happens to all of us.
if it does happen, if it does happen to you, I think it's important to communicate. You see this thing where I don't want to tell anybody, I want to keep it. And some people are selfish. Don't be selfish. See, when a child is involved, remove all aspect of self. I want to do it for me. This is what I want. It should be what we want, what we can do, what can we afford. Because if you take on, I can tell you I don't have kids, but I can tell you for a fact, I'm raising 2 young men. One is just about to get into university. I'm telling you for a fact. It's been 5 years of raising both of them. Children are not cheap.
Sister Flo is super.
And let me tell you, children are not cheap. And I tell people, I say one of the rewards of raising a child is the satisfaction that you get when you see them progress.
Absolutely.
They can't pay you back. No matter what I do for them, they can't pay me back. Do you understand? But it's the satisfaction that you get. So if you know that you're not in that state of mind where you're ready to forget about yourself and say, you see mothers go to the market and they see something that they want to buy and they don't buy it and they buy for their kids. You think it's play? It takes a lot of letting go of yourself to take care of somebody else to get to that point. So if you're not ready to do it, my dear, just be religious. Either you don't do it and you're in that situation, you can't say you can't share, you can't consider the other person. Only you want to do. You want to keep the baby, you can keep the baby, you want to do it yourself, and then tomorrow you come to the internet and you are crying. That's story for the gods.
Thank you so much, Flo. If we leave, Flo has so much passion for this conversation, right? if we leave Flo, we can do 3 hours here, still talking about the same topic. Right?
Neka must drop.
But Neka has to say something. Please, not just your one word.
Neka, please.
Neka has to
this
say
is
something.
painful. Pity me and say something.
Say something.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, you need to talk into the mic.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from.
Well, who's coming from?
I feel for the guy. I wish I didn't even say he has to take the child at first.
Okay, so you have taken your words back.
Yes, I take it back.
Clarity.
We trained the soul today. We trained the soul
So
today.
that's nice.
That's
nice.
deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So deep.
Okay.
Like, wow. But thank God the guy is fine now. And but the girl did too much. Like, she did too much.
Just to keep
I
him.
can't do that kind of thing.
You understand?
Like, you want to keep a man because I don't know
The baby.
why is it the only man?
I think we'll have to do a comeback here with you here. After
Yeah,
the
we
DNA
definitely-
test.
After the DNA
That's a
test,
different story because it will come with some reactions.
It's so glaring.
What if the child is a
Your
half-caste?
seed will be white
How it can't take happen?
with skin color.
I meant to say half-caste.
It's not polished. That's it.
Hey,
Yes,
but
genetic
thank
thing.
God.
Yes,
So you know
two black people
the
Sapio.
sapiosexual, yeah. So
This
but
sapiosexual thing, you guys have to let us
you need
know.
to watch episode 1. That's what you need to watch episode 1. So everybody has given their
this guy was
their final thoughts.
homosexual in that episode.
Hey,
So
that's
we
why he's
taught-
been
we
saying
taught him.
it.
He googled and all that, so he
If
knows
that will
now.
help you sleep tonight, Femi. If it help you sleep tonight,
I
no,
think
it's
both
fine.
of you should sit
Okay, so
together.
Ogieva.
So I'll give my own final thoughts. Yeah. So I think you guys have covered, quite different areas, but so I'll just add. You understand? It's not like it's the same thing, but so I think if you're a babe, I'll go back to what I said earlier on. Yeah. The final thought, the final say, yeah, is with the babe. So it's either she agrees or she doesn't, right? So I feel if you're a babe and you know you want a child, and if you get pregnant by this guy, by the guy you're with rather, and you still want to keep the baby here, just let him know from the beginning.
First.
Just let him know from the beginning so he knows what he's working with. So by the time you drop the bomb on him, he will definitely, he will not have a choice. He has agreed to it. So, that's another way of managing the situation. Femi said it's a mix of all that. So at least if you let the guy know from the beginning, you understand, then it's easier for him to deal with it. I mean, he should know if you're having unprotected
Agreement
sex.
sign.
Do you get it?
Everybody
So,
should sign.
so that's
It
my
can't be that
own
serious.
I'm not
sense.
even talking about abortion now. Just sign. Just I don't know.
It doesn't work that way.
Doesn't
Because
work
really,
that
yeah,
way.
you see this thing here, the thing is so sad because this is how bad fathers are made. Do you understand? The guy has already told you he doesn't have money, blah blah blah. And you dump it on him. He's now dropping his small change. What he can drop. And I'm saying this all he can drop. You know what I mean? Well, this guy is giving
Actually,
his
he wasn't even giving you his all from the beginning.
Do you understand? So the guy's now trying now. You're saying he's a bad father. Is this? That guy's a bomb. Your dad is weak. You understand? All those, you understand?
Your dad is fine.
Then the end
Your dad is
you
weak.
know. So it's most times when that happens is when the baby is selfish about it. Yeah? When she goes ahead and gives birth to the child, yeah, without the guy's consent, then she now blames the guy for it in the future. She will not blame the guy for it.
And in continuation, when she now
says she's the man.
She now has a boyfriend. Now carries the responsibility. Places it on the boyfriend. There's just it never ends. It keeps
it's a
going,
lifetime
right?
thing. It's not even an STD or an STI. You're gonna carry it. You're gonna carry it on your head.
It never ends.
Like
Producer said we should end. Okay.
Let's
So
end.
on this note, guys, I mean, I hope you've taken, your key points from what everyone has said.
Use
And
a
I mean,
condom,
if you are falling into this situation, or you know about the situation,
Abstinence.
just like Flo gave us our story.
Use a
I
condom.
mean, you can drop yours in the comments. Let's hear it.
Don't have sex.
And will you keep
all.
quiet?
Come on.
What the hell, man?
Guys,
Keep quiet.
You can't actually tell people
So
what to do.
that and let us know. And who knows, if your story is nice, we can talk about it. You understand? It can also be another episode.
Please share,
So
subscribe,
please share,
follow,
subscribe,
and
follow us.
again. Thank you to Flo.
Thank you to Flo and Neka for coming on
and
the show.
Neka for coming on the show. The amazing guests. We'll definitely have them sometime soon. Yeah, for one, the DNA test.
Everybody wants this story.
Maybe another episode where she has so much passion for as well. I think we should shoot another one. What do you think?
You do one.
I
Neka said she has one story that
Neka has a story about the phone thing.
cut.
Alright, so cut.
Yeah, bye guys. See you later. Subscribe. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Bye.